Gao, while the rest of the world, or at least the Western world, the United States and Europe, remains in recession, China, of course, is sitting on huge reserves and continues to have the capability of making huge capital investments. Your mission is to invest internationally. What are you looking at these days? What's a good buy?
Well, we are a financial investor, so we don't go out and just, we're not a hunter, as in the words of our chairman. We're farmers. So we plan everything. We have a wide spectrum of things, products that we are interested in, looking for financial returns. So we don't have any specific things that we have to do or not to do.
Of China's $2 trillion of reserves, your sovereign wealth fund is a couple of $100 billion. Your highest profile investments have been the $3 billion stake you invested in Blackstone, and then the $5 billion stake in Morgan Stanley. In retrospect, do you regret that?
No, why should I?
Because of the nature of what those prices have done since?
You know, prices go up and down, and we still believe these are very good institutions. And through the past year and a half, through our dealings with them, we met a lot of them. They are very professional firms, and we cooperated very well.
Is this a time to be more cautious or more courageous as a sovereign wealth fund?
As a sovereign wealth fund, it's for us, we're a much longer-term investor, so it's very difficult to set at any particular period of time and say, oh, we need to be more greedy or we need to be more cautious. No, we're looking at things in a much longer term. That's in the principles of, let's say, our colleagues at Singapore, GIC, Temasek, say, well, we look at things at 50 years spans. But of course, we don't, we can't say it's 50 years, but at least we look at things for more 5, 10 years. So for any particular juncture of time, it really doesn't matter as much. Of course, we look at timing, but timing is not the most important thing.
What's your feeling about the euro versus the dollar, say, over the next decade in terms of role in the world economy? I
can't really speculate too much on that. At the present time, typically if you ask an investor, they will also say, okay, for the next 12 months, 18 months, but anything beyond that, it's anyone's guess. At present time, the dollar seems to be a little stronger than say, half a year ago. But I always have more confidence in euro than a lot of friends, a lot of people I talk to. And I think the European people are going to be able to get together and function on it. And the US, of course, has its own strength. Definitely, it's the strongest economy in the world. And if anyone else in this world at present time, the US is still the only country that can actually do more than anyone else to pull us out of this thing. But they have their fair share of problems, and sometimes they are the source of the problems. So they have to get their acts together and try to work with the Europeans and with other people to try to do, probably in the long run, some sort of a multipolar currency system, so that we can all benefit from it.
You mentioned that the U.S. has been, in part, the source of its own problems. You were a regulator here in China before this current job. To what extent would you say that those Americans and non-Americans who feel there was insufficient regulation of the derivatives market, of the securitization, some are even suggesting that Mr. Greenspan himself let things go to hell, that they let things go too much and that was part of the problem. Do you agree with that?
It depends on how you look at it. From the macro point of view, it really doesn't matter that much. But if you, as a regulator, if you look at actual things, it's true. I agree with it because there are many nitty-gritty things that the regulators could do and could have stopped something. But the problem is really on a much larger scale. If you look at the overall spending habit, the overall financial system, then you think, well, how can a country be sustainable by spending tomorrow's money, next year's money, and next generation's money? That won't be sustainable. So that's the ultimate problem. So we have to solve that. If they can't find a way to get out of that sort of spending habit, spending other people's money all the time, then we have a problem. Because at present time, China has a very high savings rate, Japan has a high savings rate, but these people are also getting richer, and these people are getting, the next generation we don't know. I never spent money really, but my children, the children of my children, they are probably going to spend like Americans. They would love to spend like Americans. How can that be sustainable for the whole, global?
What's your prognosis as an investor, looking at the Western-caused crisis that's encircling the globe, in terms of the timing of when we'll begin to see some recovery?
Well, that's a very difficult call because we as investors we have to make that judgment. But the problem is that the world as we know today is very different from say 20 years ago, because the whole financial paradigm has shifted, and this new paradigm is yet to be established. So we know that for sure. When that becomes a problem, then all the predicts and all the guesses become quite irrelevant. But my take of that is that this is probably going to last for some time before we finally all the countries figure out how to deal with things and set up a new world order.